former VC, KNUST, Prof. Adakwa, graduates are now graduates. Our friends from the media, good afternoon to everyone. And a well-earned congratulations to every one of you. As I sat here and saw all of you gathered in this great auditorium at KNUST, I asked Mrs. Jackson, I said, Mrs. Jackson, how are you feeling? Watching your vision become a reality, how are you feeling? I also asked Professor Jackson, I said, Prof, how are you feeling? Watching your vision become a reality. This is what a visionary individual does for his nation and for her nation. A family that decided that they needed to change education in Ghana. They could have retired from high school and university, they could have done so many other things. But it seems they started a journey anew. And back on adventure, at that point, I don't believe they knew where they were heading. They faced various challenges, even from us, the education establishment, who did not understand them. When I became deputy minister, I received complaints from people complaining about Jackson. And one day I had a chance. When the first results of the licensure came out, and somebody was complaining that Jackson University, we can't trust how they are training the teachers. So I said, okay, show me the data. Show me who prepared their students well. And Jackson was topping the charts in terms of people who have graduated. So when I saw that their students were passing better than our so-called colleges of education, I said to myself, we need as a nation to be focused on outcome and not processes. When we focus on the outcomes, we are able to break barriers and create opportunities for all. When we focus on outcomes, we don't judge you by the kind of college you went to. We judge you by what outcome you have produced. So as I congratulate the graduates, I also want to congratulate the founders of Jackson College for your foresight and innovation that has brought all of us here. You inspire me greatly. Today, as you graduate this batch of students, you are graduating them into an education space that is fast changing. The President of the Republic, I'll call him our education president. No president has made the kind of commitment to education that Nana Addo Dankwa has. And in case, for the naysayers, in case somebody is saying you doubt it, me, I don't do propaganda. And I don't do political talk. I don't come here to tell you plans are far advanced. And I don't tell you it's in the pipeline. And I'm not here to tell you that it's almost out of the tunnel. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. No, today I'm here to show you evidence. So I'll take a few moments of your time. I know you've already graduated. You want to go out there and spend time with your family. But I want you to live here knowing that the profession that you prepared yourself for, the space is changing. You know, in Ghana, you can aptly define public schools as rectangular-shaped buildings painted brown and yellow, where the students wear brown and yellow uniforms. And if you define it that way, your professor should give you at least an A-. You know. So these are the buildings, the one you see, and the one you see. You are being prepared for a space like this. I know you still like it. But you see, I don't believe that we can educate 21st century children in 19th century buildings and expect 21st century outcomes. It's not going to be. So So we need to change the learning environment. If you want to be like Singapore, we have to do what Singaporeans did many years back. We want to be like South Korea, we have to do what they did. They invested in their people. They did not accept the status quo. Dilapidated buildings should not define public education in Ghana. We need to change it, and we have begun a journey to change it. You see me? This is your new junior high schools. And I know some of you are saying, oh, that is plans are far advanced, because this is an architectural rendering. But let me take you to a town called Drammen. That Champing is here. Go to Drammen and see. We have built it. We have built Otuo Sriwom Model STEM Junior High School. Next month, God willing, Otuo Sriwom STEM Junior High School will be commissioned. On that day at Drammen, there will be celebration because we are shutting down the old junior high schools and we are moving the students here. We are moving them to a building, a junior high school space with biology, chemistry, and physics labs. We are moving them into a space where they will have robotic labs and engineering labs. That is where Ghana's education system is headed. In a number of towns and cities across the country, we have them. This is Sunyani, and it's there. Go to the rich area. It is there. Chamba in the north is almost completed. Go to Onri Abenase, we are completing it. In communities like Jachi, you see, the government came up with a program called $1 Million per constituency. And I know some of you said, oh, what is that? It didn't come. It came. And when it came at Jachi, we decided that we use that money in building a model school. And this is a public school. This is a junior high school in Bosomtwe. I visited the school, and this is a lab, science lab for a junior high school in operation. And before we open all the new ones, you're going to see these labs there. They do music in the junior high school. They also read in beautiful libraries. And that is where junior high schools are going in Ghana. Look at that teacher. He's not holding any cane. He has the students surrounding him, and he's enjoying his time with the students. This is the best you can get when you talk about student-centered teaching and learning. Smart board is at the back. And this is public schools in Ghana. This is where our nation is, and this is where we are heading. This is a junior high school block that has 6 science labs. All across the country, education is seeing transformation. I'll take you to probably one of the best public schools in the world. It's nearing completion. It's called Accra STEM Academy. It begins from kindergarten. It takes the students all the way to high school. This is the architectural rendering, Accra STEM Academy in East Legon, Accra. This is a public school, and we are almost done. The nation's education infrastructure has to be changed. Now, let me take you to the villages. I'm taking you to Jetokoi, South Tong, and let's take a look at what the building looked like. Yes, this. We have accepted the status quo, and those of us in the middle class have moved away from our public schools. We send our children to private schools. We've left the poor in these places. We cannot have 2 Ghanas, Ghana for the rich, Ghana for the poor. I foresee a day where the children of judges and laborers will sit in the same classroom and they will study together. We create a more united nation, a more united country. The laborer's son may visit the judge's son on his birthday, see where the judge lives and say to himself, one day I want to be a judge. That is the country we need to create. That is the country I see us creating. And that is what we have begun. So we're not going to keep the children of Jetokwa in this building and think it's okay. It's not okay. So now, we have a new school for them. All across the country, in the second week of November, we'll commission 80 schools just like these ones across the country. Azan Gilokrob, by the roadside, sits this school in the 21st century. And today it has changed. You can drive by, you will see it. Azan MA Basic School has changed. There's a town called Asempane. Look at their school here. And the children were passing by in the video to go and sit in their classrooms. And this has changed. This is the new school. We want teachers to wake up in the morning and can't wait to get into their classrooms because the classrooms is better. And the classroom school should be the best building in any town or village. And that is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's vision that I am executing. About 8 months ago, I did a surprise visit to a school. The closest school to the Ministry of Education is called St. Barnabas. It's an Anglican school. I visited the school. It reminded me of my days attending Anglican school at Jachi. It was blue uniform, and that's what I saw there. But look, the building has no ceiling. Look, it's dilapidated. But this happens to be the closest public school to the Ministry of Education. And it's in Accra, Osu. We have accepted this as the norm. We have left other people in this building, and we, the ones who are lucky to be sitting up here, we've taken our children out. So I decided that this cannot represent 21st century Ghana, and today we have a new school. St. Barnabas has changed. This week they supply the furniture, and next week we want to find space in the president's schedule to go and commission it, so that the children will be in a better environment. You see, sometimes it's easy in Africa to excuse poverty for your predicament. But what we use poverty as an excuse for is lack of vision. When we have a vision, things can change. So as graduates, I want you to go out there. In the face of challenges, do your best. Say to yourself, you produce the next African Einstein. Be determined. And when you are determined, you're going to make the best out of your experience with the children. We, as a government, have decided that we'll change your work environment and do better. So when you go there, this is a kindergarten class in Accra. And the environment is just beautiful. We are transforming a number of KG classes. Those who did early childhood and early grade, I'm sure you love to be in a school like this. The children are just simply happy to be there. And these are KG buildings. A number of them has been built across the country. And we are equipping them. You see that boy sitting there trying to read. He's having fun. And that's the way it should be. But you know that this is public school. Look at the uniform. This is a public school, public KG, but it's better equipped than most private schools that you can find. And that should be the norm in this country. It shouldn't be the exception. So today, as you graduate, you are graduating at a pivotal moment in the history of this country. Our government may not have met all your expectations. We may not have fulfilled all your vision of all the things you wanted us to do. We may have fallen short in a number of areas, but I can tell you in education, we have not fallen short. Our government did not promise transformation of public schools as part of our manifesto. But when we stepped in and did the free senior high school, we decided to transform public schools. We do things that we did not promise because it's the right thing to do. And I want you to know this. In the area of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, education, great strides have been made by this country, and I look forward to getting the application from Jackson to do STEM education, a bachelor's degree in STEM education. Now that we're getting schools that are equipped with STEM equipment, it makes sense to educate the teachers who can teach in that environment. We have, for the first time in our history, began the construction of 2 colleges of education focused only on STEM, preparing early grade STEM teachers, high school STEM teachers. We have them in 2 places in our country, one at Karaga in the northern region, and the one at Tepa in the Ashanti region. And the schools are moving, construction is ongoing. In the next 3 months, you're going to see a major transformation in terms of STEM education, because we are creating the colleges that will prepare the next generation of students. We also know that we have high schools doing STEM, and our focus is that these students who are doing STEM can also become our STEM teachers in case they decide not become engineers, but rather move into the field of education. So when you visit Tepa, you're going to see massive construction going on at a very fast pace. This is the Tepa STEM College of Education. They work throughout the day. They are working so hard. This has to be done. And it began 6 months ago, but work is ongoing. We want to finish this and finish it quickly. When you visit Karaga, you're going to see the same thing going on. So the next generation of STEM teachers are going to be prepared from these 2 institutions. And they are going to come out and be leaders in STEM education. Ghana has to lead STEM. I foresee a day when all the African countries will send people here to be trained, to go and man their STEM schools. So beyond the colleges, we have so many high schools built from scratch, dedicated to STEM. Pasempet Northeast, Abomosu in the eastern region, Awaso, western north. These are Diaso, Kwase. This is Pasempet. This is a brand new high school that the government has built, and it's like a college anywhere in the world. But in Ghana, this is a high school. It's a full boarding school with teachers' bungalows and dormitory blocks, 12 science labs in the school. Every day the science teacher can do lab activities if he chooses to. That is the new Ghana. So when I hear people, I know in the political space in Ghana, we use what is called slash and burn politics. Then DC will come and tell you MPP has done nothing. They've destroyed the country. Nothing good has happened. When the MPP gets its turn, it's also saying the same. I think when we do that kind of politics, we are telling Ghanaians that we, the politicians, don't know what we are doing. But we know what we are doing. It's vision that produces this. And I call for a new kind of politics where we recognize the achievements of others and build on them instead of destroying our opponents and get the voters to be angry at them. If it has happened before, I don't condone it. And I think it's wrong for anybody to say that MPP government has rather destroyed education in Ghana. Look at the new high school courses that we are offering. For the first time in our country, high schools are now offering aviation and aerospace. These are the list of new courses. We've tried this, we piloted this. This year we are beginning. Robotics, engineering, manufacturing engineering, aviation and aerospace, biomedical science. These are all new high school courses that are being offered in our high schools across the country. This is transformation, and this is what is going on in Ghana. I want us to unite as a nation and do something better for ourselves. And that is exactly what we are doing here. I'll show you the last thing, and then I know you want to have time with your family. Let's look at the Fiakobi Ampim girls. The only school probably in the world that has a tarmac for flying drones. Efiakobiampim girls. Look at that tarmac. It's for flying drones. Drones that they build themselves. And it's flying right there. And this is a girls' school. Mrs. Jackson is reminding me. It's a girls' school. It will land very soon. But in real time, it took about 45 minutes, went around, came back to land. After they deployed this drone, they also decided to build a remote control boat and deploy it on the Atlantic Ocean. Their first model was given to the Navy to test for stability. After the Navy tested it, they went back to Takrady. The Navy helped them deploy it on the ocean, remote control boat with the flag of Ghana, moving fast on the Atlantic Ocean. And that is education in Ghana. You see, it's flying with the flag of Ghana. Built by Ghanaian girls. We've shown this in many places in the world and they clap for Ghana. When you talk about education in Ghana, any place in the world, they clap for our country. I think we ought to tell the world what we've done, and we should commend each other. After all, it's your tax cities at work. But we're using your taxes very well. In the area of education, I know licensure is a big deal. And nobody wants to be tested. Nobody. So I can understand why some of you said, if they cancel it, I like it. If they cancel it, Jackson College will not be able to tell the world that we are better. There will be nothing that we have to compare you against the other colleges of education. We believe in common sense reform. In the same way, we are reassessing. Directed that GTech look into and reassess qualifications of people who teach in professional programs. I don't think for a moment that if you don't have a PhD in education, you can't teach at a college of education. You should be able to teach with experience and some qualifications. It has to be combined. We don't want to put a burden on private university to have all PhDs. No. Your master's degree and number of years of experience should qualify you to teach and teach till you retire. Because it's the right thing to do. We've done similar common sense reforms when we allowed those who do not do science in high school to do 1 year pre-engineering program and become engineers in Ghana. I knew that universities were going to fight me because they were going to say, he thinks this is America. Everything he's bringing America here. But some of you want to travel to America, but I don't want to bring America here. So they will always lambast you. No, the guys work in America, so you want to bring America to Ghana. So I didn't want any fight. I decided that any university that wanted to do pre-engineering should come for money. If you want to do it, I'll give you $200,000. And you see, money can do some wonderful things. The universities applied to come and do it, nobody fought me. That's why you haven't even heard of it. You never heard about me in the news, about forcing universities to allow those who didn't do science to become engineers. We have begun. Level 300 students are going to show up in school when schools open. At UMatt, we have a pre-engineering program. For those who did visual arts, those who did home economics, you come there and spend 1 year doing biology, chemistry, and physics, and elective math, if you pass, anybody who wants to do something, if you support them, they will do it to your amazement. Because you see, we were not allowing them, but if they travel to America, they will allow them. I tell them the story of Kojo Mensah, who had a dream, and in the dream he was speaking to God, and God told Kojo, you're going to be the best engineer in the world. Kojo giggled and said, God, you don't know me. There's no way I can be the best engineer in the world. Not even the worst engineer, because God, you know, I'm growing up in Ghana and I'm doing visuals in high school. Nobody will allow me to go and do engineering. But I always said that if Kojo went to America, the universities will allow him, they will support him, and he will become the best engineer in the world. So here in Ghana, now, those who did not do science have an opportunity. A profound story is told by a young lady who is part of the level 300. It's almost like a miracle, because she said she had a dream. In the dream, she was going to do engineering at the university. The next morning, she woke up, and in the Daily Graphic, there was an advertisement for pre-engineering, and she applied. Her dreams have become a reality. All across the nation, we have individuals with great dreams, and government should facilitate the space for them so that their dreams will become a reality. As their personal dreams become a reality, the dream of our nation is also becoming a reality. We need a middle-income Ghana, a transformed Ghana, a Ghana where everything is possible, a Ghana where students have a growth mindset, and that is why, beginning this academic year, in every high school, we'll dedicate 8 weeks to the study of growth mindset. If our children get it, growth mindset, they will do what Raja Bannister did in 1954. Up until 1954, scientists told us that no human being can run 1 mile under 4 minutes. Raja Bannister decided that he would do it. And they even said, after you do the mile under 4 minutes, you will die, because your body's makeup does not allow you to do that. Raja Bannister proved the scientists wrong. And he said that when he went to the end of the race and he collapsed, he thought he was dying, but he never died. That record has now been broken, and people are doing 1 mile under 4 minutes. There's nothing we can do as the creation of God if we are determined and we want to do something different. So when you live here, understand that things may be difficult. Understand that you may not have things easy. But begin to know that it's possible. And when you believe that it's possible, there are things that you do differently. Our headmaster is going to remember you and say that this young lady came here and volunteered for us for 2 months. We should rather give her the opportunity. Don't ever look at the barriers. Look at opportunities that you can create for yourself. And within that context, opportunities that you can create for your country. We are a great nation. Our better days are ahead of us and not behind us. I believe in Ghana. And that is why I left whatever I was doing when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo asked me if I was willing to come to Ghana and help him change the education system. I grew up in a very humble home. Father had just started out as a cocoa farmer. My mother did everything, sold kenkey, sold everything that she can find her hands on. My future was not expected to be this way. Never expected that the parents of uneducated, the son of 2 uneducated parents will become the minister for education, in charge of education. So I believe in the Ghanaian dream. I believe in a Ghana where those who are disadvantaged can do something better for themselves. But I also believe that a government system must be the enabler, create the environment so that people can blossom. So I find myself in America coming from a home where I almost didn't go to high school. It wasn't free then. And during our time, we never thought it would be free. 3 weeks before school was about to start, I didn't have 40 cedis to go and pay my deposit so that I could go to Jache Pramso Senior High School. My brother's quick thinking saved me. My sibling, who came directly behind me, had an idea that saved me. We were sitting in, it was vacation, I was on the cocoa farm in Memphis Central, a town called Antuba. You walk for 10 miles from Mansour Menfi to go there. There was no car at the time going to Antubam. When you got to Antubam, you walk 2 miles to get to my father's hamlet in the middle of the Kuko farm, which he had called Nyamebetre. So 3 weeks before school was about to start, it was difficult for my dad, who thought I could go to high school, no money. He took me along to various villages, begging his friends if they can lend him some money. He couldn't find anything. Then my younger brother's quick thinking one evening saved me when he said, tell dad to give you money, travel back to Jachi, and I'm helping our uncles on their piggery. They've given me one. If you sell it, you probably get the money to go. That was my saving grace. Came back to Jachi, the pig was sold. And I got 42 cedis. Paid 40 cedis at Jachi Pram. So went back to the village, waiting, looking at the prospectus, showing it to my dad, read it to him. Where is he going to find the money to meet the prospectus items? So headmasters, when I get angry at prospectus, you know where it's coming from. If the prospectus was a long list, I couldn't have gone. It was just my shirt, blue shirt, khaki shorts, sandals. So we had to harvest some plantains, go to the market. I got that money, came back, bought my uniform, Jachi Pram, so here I come. I was the happiest guy on earth. When my friends talk about Disadel and Augustine, I say, you guys don't know what you are talking about. At Disadel and Augustine, how could I have had money to buy trunk and jobbers to go to a Disadel? Jachi Pram was my saving grace. Out of this background, I had found myself in America, building schools for Americans. Then came Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo telling me, can you come back to Ghana to help me change the education system? I want to introduce free secondary education. Americans were the first to do it. Can you come, bring your ideas to the table, and help me do this? I couldn't believe that he knew who he was talking to and said, this guy doesn't know me. You don't know how far I've come. You want me to come back to Ghana? But I reflected, and I decided that if he wanted to introduce free secondary, I'll come back. And I came, became deputy minister, and the Honorable Matthew Opoku Premier. And then, after that,